relationship with my husband changed a lot, on a lot of levels. I'll talk about that in some other video. Sometimes you have clashes that you would normally not have, or you know, things that were not issues before the baby came might become an issue. Somebody might begin to feel like they're taking on so much load than the other person is, you know, there's so much that just happens. That's why communication is very important. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ziika of ZiiO. If this is your first time seeing my face, maybe you just stumbled upon my video or someone shared this video with you, you are very welcome. Here we talk about interesting stuff. We just have conversations and I share my opinion around issues, topics surrounding my faith, family, relationship, motherhood, and all that good stuff. And if this is not your first time seeing my face, thank you for coming back. That means you enjoyed my last or my previous or one of my videos. Thank you so much for coming back. Every time you watch my video, you're supporting me, and I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Please don't just end by watching my video or watching this video. Kindly subscribe. The button is somewhere under this video. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. Just hit that button and turn on the bell that is beside it. Just click it too so that you get notified when I drop new videos. Thank you so much. Like I said, so yeah, today I will be talking about, from the title you can already tell, living with an infant. So this is the last video in the series that I started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Tales of a New Mom. If you do not know, I recently became a mother. I have an infant. I have a 7-month-old daughter, adorable, beautiful, light-skinned girl like her mama. So yeah, so this is me just sharing my experiences. Someone can learn from it. If you're around a new mother, please share this with her so that she's not entering into what she doesn't understand. You know, it can be overwhelming, but trust me, it's worth it. It's an amazing process, from pregnancy to having the baby to nurturing them. And you know, may God continue to bless, you know, the selfless acts of sacrifice and everything we do for these children, you know. It's a beautiful thing to have children, but it has to be very purposeful. Anyway, that's video for another time. So yeah, living with an infant. So I really want to try to make my videos shorter. So yeah, I'm going to just try to go straight to the point, but I realize a lot of people enjoy the stories because a lot of the comments I get are around the stories and the lessons, which perfect. I'm excited for that. So yeah, living with an infant. I started to live with an infant about 7 months ago, and I can tell you this for free: your life will change for the better. Your life will change forever. Of course, not everything will change, but the most part of it, a lot of things will change. Starting with you as a woman, your body will change. I've added some flesh. Your body will change. A lot of things will change about you. Different areas, things will change emotionally. Different things will change about you. But I'll just touch on a few things I've learned from having an infant, living with an infant, what it is like, and I hope you learn 1 or 2 from it. So yeah, I feel like having a baby is something that should be deliberate. I don't think it's something that you should stumble upon. Like, it should just be like, oh my god, we're pregnant. I mean, people have situations like that, fine, all well and good, that's how God wants it, but it should be something that you should deliberately do, because it's not having a baby or a child or an entire human being be dependent on you for almost 20 years or 10 or 15, 18 years of their life is not a small thing. It's not a little decision, especially if you live in the country that I live in. It has several implications, apart from spiritual implications, psychological implications, financial implications in Nigeria. There's a lot of implications. So it's not a decision you just make, just stand up and be like, I want to have a child. It takes a lot. So I feel like it's a decision you and your spouse should sit down and, you know, like I mentioned in our first video, I'm sure one day eventually when my husband comes around, we will talk about some of the things that informed our decision to wait and our decision, you know, to have our baby when we had our baby. So because your life will change, even your relationship with your spouse. My relationship with my husband changed a lot, on a lot of levels. I'll talk about that in some other video. Sometimes you have clashes that you would normally not have, or you know, things that were not issues before the baby came might become an issue. Somebody might begin to feel like they're taking on so much load than the other person is, you know, there's so much that just happens. That's why communication is very important. But like I said, that is for another video. So a lot will change. Don't expect your life to remain the same. You can no longer make spontaneous decisions. Oh, I just want to go out, or I just want to do this, I just want to buy this, I just want, you know, there's so much to consider. Oh, where would I put my baby if I have to go out? You need to literally plan. You can't just do stuff, you have to plan. Or the baby will be here, or you stay with the baby, I would represent the family, or we will go this, you know, you really have to plan. You can't just make decisions. And apart from that, there are a lot of other changes on several levels. And some of the things that actually work for me, one of the first things that I feel like really worked for me is routine. I'm naturally not someone, I like to plan. I like to plan my tomorrow, today, down to the clothes I wear. I would have arranged everything. I like to plan. This is where I'm going, this is what I would do. So fitting into a routine wasn't so difficult for me, and putting my baby on a routine, on a schedule, was not so difficult. It really worked for me, and I feel like you can try it as a new mom. Structure yourself into a routine. And for babies, I feel like when a baby gets used to a particular structure over time, it really just helps them to fit, you know, it makes everything easy, it makes everything simple, it makes the work less overwhelming for you. For example, even if I don't say to my daughter once it's like 7:30 p.m. even if I don't say, this girl, you need to sleep, oh, there are certain things that we start to do from like 6:30 or 7 that in her mind is already telling her, oh, these are the things we usually will do when I want to sleep for the night. So once we start to do those things, our body is already sleeping safe. If you understand what I mean. So it's easy to put her to bed. And the same thing in several other areas. For example, at night, we know that she'll have a night bath. I dress her up, I feed her, we turn off the lights, we have a lot of other things, a couple of things we do. These things might be, they look like they are very tiny and small. I nurse her, we pray, then she sleeps. They are very small things, but trust me, it's becoming something in the mind of the child. It's telling them something. So once we turn the lights off, my daughter assumes it is time to sleep for long. Because I remember one time where our neighbors were having a party, and then there was music and there were lights. So when she woke up in the middle of the night, she heard music, she saw lights, so the room was kind of bright. She started playing, because in her head, she doesn't know midnight from day. In her head, oh, there's lights, there's music, it's time to be awake. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So those things really help. Even for me, I wake up in the morning, I take a bath, I get her ready for the day, I feed her, I do this. Like, I already have the way my mornings go, and it goes like that every morning, except of course things can happen. But structuring myself, fitting myself and my baby, putting us in a routine really helps make the work a lot easier. So I think it's something you should try. Another thing is be deliberate from the very first day. I think it's just like routine. Like I said, being deliberate from the first day. We're human beings, to be honest. Some things we just, I beg, I can't kill myself. But try as much as possible to be deliberate from the first day. Apart from night routine, bath time routine, even For example, from when she was born, I mean, it was a bit inconsistent, or I won't even say I do it every single day of our lives, but I try my best to do it for the most part. From when she was born, I've had a couple of songs, videos I've downloaded that I would really love for her to be familiar with. So I would play these songs for her. I would play. She doesn't understand yet, but like I said, it's all about being deliberate from the first day. You don't want to have a toddler that is already 5 and you're saying, where did you get this from? What kind of song are you singing? Why don't you know this song? But it's about, of course, things will happen because they interact with the world, they interact with people in life. They will definitely know some things, but it will not be as much as what you have deliberately put inside. And it's not something, I learned this from my parents and from people around, it's not something you start to do when they are grown. It's something you deliberately start to do from now that you feel like they don't even hear or see. Because there's something my dad always says, that babies are spirits. They are only small in their body, but their spirit is the same like us adults. So put in them what you want them to be, what you want them to know. So in the mornings, even till now, when I'm bathing her, I'm dressing her up, getting her ready for the day, I try to play these songs or all these things that I want her to be familiar with. And now that she's growing, she's getting aware of stuff, she will sit down quietly, she will watch these videos. Superbook, I always play her Superbook. She will watch these videos. She's excited when we play the songs. She doesn't know it, but it's beginning to, it will be registering. So be deliberate from the start. It's not only spiritually, even career wise, whatever it is, whatever it is you want them to grow in, start to do it from now. Little drops of water, little drops of foam, make a mighty ocean. You shall get the point. So little drops of water is what would eventually make that mighty ocean. Another thing is understand your baby. New moms, understand your baby. Please don't compare babies. Don't compare babies. Understand your baby. As long as my mantra had always been, as long as my baby is healthy, the doctor says she's healthy, I can see that she's healthy, she's growing proportionally, she's growing at the pace she should, she's hitting her milestones. Sis, any other thing that you want to say is on you. Come me, it's not my business. Don't compare. But you know, there's every tendency, especially when you have other new moms around you. Me, for example, my baby is not on the big side. From when she was born, she was born 3.4, but if you see her, she didn't look like a 3.4 baby. Up till now, she weighs what, I don't know, almost 8 point something, but she doesn't look it. So when you see her, she doesn't look like a chubby big baby. And I had a lot of babies around me that were chubby. I wasn't pressured, I wasn't bothered. Thank God my husband too wasn't really bothered. Our concern was, is she healthy? She's healthy, she's growing, her weight is increasing, she's hitting her milestones. She can sit, she's already started, trying to crawl. She's not even crawling, she wants to fly. She wants to fly. You can't leave her on the bed alone. She's hitting her milestones, her teeth is coming, she's growing teeth, everything is okay. Who fights for this life? Nobody. So understand your baby. My baby used to be she's not a picky eater, at least from what I've discovered. Every solid she wants to taste. Her formula or breast milk, anything, she's taking it. Bottle or anything, she's taking. But she doesn't like to eat so much, which I think she picked from me. She likes to eat in bits. That's how I eat. But I mean, it's not a perfect thing, but it's not a terrible thing. It's not something that will not make her enter heaven. So and she's still she's still really small, and she starts to fully eat solid, and it's something we can start to work on. She doesn't like to take in so much. So if, for example, babies her age at maybe 7 months are finishing, I don't know what they're supposed to finish, maybe 230 ml, maybe 8 ounces of milk at once. My baby is not finishing 8 ounces. She's alive, she's not dead, she's healthy, she's even lighter than your baby that is finishing. I'm not shading anybody, you don't mind me. I'm just trying to say, understand your baby, do what works for them. Ultimately, if they are healthy, we thank God. So please don't let comparison is the killer of joy. You don't go and have hypertension because mommy Toby, she's 7 months, sis, calm down. She's already 1 year old. She's not walking. Calm down. She's still within the range. It's not like she's 10 and she's not walking. It's not like she's 5 and she's not walking. Even 3. It's not like she's 2 safe and she's not walking. Then we can start to say there's an issue somewhere. So just understand your baby, work with them, and as long as they're healthy, I think it's okay. I think one of the most important things now, living with an infant for parents, another thing over the years I've realized and I've seen even with my daughter, because there's some things she would do, I'm like, oh my god, this is so my husband, and some things she would do and I'm like, oh my god, this is so me. So I think one of the things that my husband and I are really working on is everything we don't want our daughter to become, we have to start to change those things now. Everything we want her to become, we have to start to actively do those things. Because one thing I've learned about children, I've worked with children I've had to teach children, I've worked with children for a long time, for over 7 years, and if there's anything that I've noticed and known about children is they learn more by observation than what you say. They learn more by what they see. So what you want them to become, pattern it to them. What you don't want them to become, please don't let them see it. Don't let them see it. You can't be smoking and say your child shouldn't smoke. Your children cannot see you not worshiping and you're saying, why are they not worshiping? Whatever it is you want and whatever culture we want in the home, we have to start to build it now. There's some things we had talked about before we got married that we wanted as a culture in our home. Now that we have our daughter, now that she's growing actively, we have to start to do those things. Yes, she's very small, she doesn't understand, but trust me, continuing the consistency, she will grow in. One day she will just do it and you'll be like, oh my god, and you will see that all that consistency paid off. I remember the first time she saw her dad and I hold hands and pray, and she was with us, we held her hand, she was just looking at him and looking at me and looking at both of us like, what are you guys doing? But as we continue that, she would see it, she would see it as a culture, and one day you see her come and hold your hand and say, mommy, let's pray. This is not me being religious about these things, I just use it as an example. It applies in every other thing, even the way you eat. If you don't want her to, you shouldn't do it. They will pick what they see you do faster than what you tell them to do. So it's very, very important. And I think the last thing is studying about children, how to raise children. I mentioned in my last video that when I was pregnant, I like to do research a lot because I like to be sure what I'm doing is right. I think now I'm looking more in the direction of the Bible, a lot of how some children were raised in the Bible. Children, I really hope my daughter becomes like how some parents were, that they were not able to raise children who could continue or grow to be relevant in the kingdom. And I'm looking at how I must not become like these people. So reading and this was the kind of attitude they had, this is this kind of thing they did that indulge a child, I'm not supposed to do this. So studying basically really is really helping me know the direction of who I'm supposed to be able to raise the kind of child that I want to raise. And I think the last thing I'll say is, don't be a superman. Ask questions, especially for us that are new parents. We've not gone this way before. Yes, some things we'll learn by experience because every family is unique, every child is different, and you have to understand how to customize principles to your family, to your child, how to raise that child. But at the same time, people have gone through these experiences, so you can ask questions. Like I think it's an Igbo adage that says one person that gives birth, but it takes a community to train and raise the child. So learn from people who have gone through these experiences, groom your child in that way, and may God help us all raise end-time soldiers for him. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and even if you don't have an infant with you, even if you currently don't have a baby, this is a video that will be relevant to you when you eventually have your baby, or if you have younger ones, if you have nephews, nieces, siblings, family, if you generally interact with children, this information is very, very important and necessary for you. So thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you enjoyed this whole series, let me know if there's another, and if there's something else you want me to talk about and split it into series like this. Let me know if there's any topic, even if it's just a one-off video. Let me know, give me video ideas while I continue to put out the things that I feel like I'm supposed to put out. If you know what I'm saying, if you get me, you get me. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Bye.